How to speak English confidently. Hi, I'm Ava from Easy English. Are you ready to speak confidently in English? Let's talk about it. Let's imagine this scene. You're walking out of your local grocery store and you see me walking up to you and I say to you in English, "Excuse me, do you know where the local cafe is? I'm trying to find it." Oh my goodness. Do you panic? Do you hesitate? Uh, uh, or do you confidently say, "Oh, hey, Ava, I watch your lessons"? Yeah, the local cafe's just right around the corner. Can I treat you to a drink? If you can't speak confidently like this in English, yet never fear. Today you are going to learn the tricks to speaking confidently in English. In today's lesson, you are about to see two of my most popular lessons about speaking confidently in English. So are you ready to say goodbye to fear and hello to confidence? Let's do it. Today I'm on the beach in very sunny, very hot. How to speak confidently? Even though it's 7 in the morning, Costa Rica, it's beautiful. And what better place to relax than at the beach, right? But you can't always be at the beach when you're speaking English. So today, I want to give you my top tip for helping you to relax, de-stress, and feel comfortable when you're speaking English. I know that a lot of you use English for your job. Maybe you need to speak in English with a foreign company. Or maybe you need to speak with your clients that are from other countries. This is a pretty stressful situation because number one, you want to be polite, you want to represent your company well, but also you want to represent yourself well. You want to be confident, be an adult who can express yourself completely. So, when you speak in a business situation, I would consider this the top, maybe most stressful situation in English. What about another level down from that? Maybe you are walking around New York City on your vacation and you get lost, or you want to find a good restaurant, so you want to ask for a recommendation and you decide to approach a stranger. You want to talk with a native English speaker. Well, this is also can be pretty stressful, but it's a little bit less stressful than a business situation because you're not going to lose your job. What if you go to an English class in your city? You're surrounded by other people who are also learning English. And this is slightly different than approaching someone in New York or having a business meeting because they understand exactly the situation that you're in. They understand exactly that kind of nervousness, that kind of stress or fear about speaking another language because that's what they're doing too. They're also English learners. What about if you're just at home watching this lesson and you're repeating it out loud? You're maybe watching the subtitles, which you can always click on YouTube. You're watching the subtitles and you're trying to repeat out loud after me. No one's listening. You're just at home by yourself. But you still need courage to be able to use your voice, to use your pronunciation muscles, and speak out loud and hear your own voice in English. This is, I think, the least stressful situation, and this is my tip. This is where I recommend starting. If you feel super stressed about speaking English, start at the easiest level. And this is by yourself. No one else is listening. No one else is watching you. Just by yourself at home. You can shadow or repeat directly after me in these videos. You can look at the subtitles below the screen if you're on the computer. You can just click CC in the bottom corner. Or if you're on your phone, You can click those three little dots at the top of the screen, and you'll see the subtitles. You can just repeat out loud after me and get used to hearing your own voice using English. I know for me, when I visited other foreign countries, like in Costa Rica, here they speak Spanish. I feel a little bit strange at first hearing my own voice trying to say something in another language. And maybe you felt that feeling too. So when you get used to hearing your own voice using English, you'll start to feel a little more comfortable, and then you'll be able to work up to the next level. So after you've mastered speaking with yourself alone, no one's watching, then you can go to that next level, which is speaking with other people who really get and understand how you're feeling. Maybe other English learners are here on YouTube, or I know a lot of you who are part of my course, the Fearless Fluency Club. A lot of you speak together on Skype. You connect with each other daily, maybe on WhatsApp, on Skype, on Google Hangouts, and just try to connect, get to know other cultures, other people. But also you can get over your fear of speaking together, because you're both in the same boat. This is a wonderful idiom that means you're both in the same situation that involves maybe a little bit of risk, a little bit of stress. You're both in that situation, and you can both understand each other. So speaking with another English learner is a great next step up to help build your confidence. After you've mastered speaking with yourself, you've done that for a little while, you feel more and more comfortable. You've spoken with another English learner. Now it's time to speak with a native speaker. This could be really anyone. It could be a teacher. It could be someone who lives in your city, who you trust. Maybe a co-worker who is from the U.S., and you want to just have some coffee together and chat together. You already have a little relationship. You already know each other and trust each other. Or maybe you just go to another city, like you go to London and you want to order in a restaurant. Maybe you can watch my video about how to order in a restaurant up here. You'll be able to just feel a little more comfortable because you've already worked those steps, starting small, then working more and more and more, and now you're speaking with a native speaker. Personally, I think something really magical happens when you speak with a native English speaker, and they can understand you, you can understand them, and you just have a real conversation. Something happens that is amazingly magical for your confidence when you realize Ava can understand me, this other native speaker can understand me, and I'm communicating. This is amazing. You have this beautiful boost of confidence, and it really helps you to just increase your English in every other way. What do you think happens next after you've spoken with yourself? You've built your confidence. You've spoken with other English learners. You've built your confidence, and then you've spoken with native speakers in a kind of casual situation. Now it's time to move on and speak at your job. Maybe you have a presentation, maybe you have to make phone calls with some other clients in other countries. You've really prepared yourself well. You've started small, and you've built up to this most stressful situation. It might still be a little stressful, but it's going to be way better than if you just started with that and you didn't prepare little by little along the way. When you do this, you're building your confidence and you're really giving a gift to yourself that I will grow, I will improve, and I can do it. I can relax, I can de-stress. You don't need to be at the beach. You don't need to have the waves and the sounds and the trees and the monkeys behind you. You just need to really build your confidence day by day by starting small. And now I have a question for you. Have you ever spoken English with a native English speaker? How did you feel? What was that experience like for you? If it was a positive experience, congratulations. If you felt really stressed, really worried, just take it back a little bit. Start small. Start with these steps I'm talking about: shadowing my videos, speaking and repeating after me, then working up with another English learner, and then with a native English speaker. And then if you need to use it for your job, you will be well prepared at that point. Before we go today, we're going to see some beautiful scenery of the beach. You're going to see the waves rolling in, and we're going to repeat an important phrase. I want you to repeat it with me. This is starting at the base level, repeating and shadowing by yourself. I want you to say this phrase with me, and I hope that it will help to build your confidence. The waves are beautiful, aren't they? I want you to repeat this sentence with me. Just imagine the waves. Take a deep breath. Let's say it together. You can do it. Why did I choose a spot where I'm staring directly into the sun? It's hot. Did you guys see how much I'm sweating right now? I hope you don't see my skin burning as we speak. There's monkeys in there somewhere. They stole my snack yesterday. Hope they enjoyed it. I guess there's jaguars in there too, so... It's gotta be safe. How to have great conversations. Imagine this. You're at a party where you don't know anyone. Everyone's having conversations in English, but you don't feel super comfortable speaking with just anyone in English yet. Someone walks up to you, smiles, introduces themselves, and starts speaking with you in English. They're friendly and seem genuinely interested in what you have to say. And before you know it, you are having a comfortable conversation in English. You may not be saying everything perfectly, but your new friend is encouraging you, and you're saying things that you didn't even know that you knew how to say. You leave the party feeling happy and confident and proud of yourself for having such an amazing conversation. If you had not gone to that party, or if you had hidden in the bathroom, you would have missed out on such an amazing time. There's a famous quote by Maya Angelou, and she says, "I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." This is great news, because you don't have to have perfect grammar, perfect vocabulary, perfect pronunciation when you speak. When you make other people feel good, you are automatically great at having amazing conversations. Today, I'm going to teach you 4 tips and several phrases so that you can make other people feel awesome while you're speaking with them, which also grows your confidence in speaking in English. Tip number 1 for amazing conversations is to compliment other people. This doesn't mean that you tell everyone, "You're so beautiful, you're handsome, your hair is amazing, your eyes are great." No, this doesn't mean that you are complimenting their physical appearance. This means that you are showing genuine interest in what other people have to say. A way that you can show other people that you're interested in what they have to say and you're saying, yes, what you're saying is interesting. I want to hear more about that is by using some positive interjections in conversations. Advanced English speakers use these all the time, and you should too. I want to teach you some of these positive interjections that you can use that tell the other person, hey, you're awesome. I want to hear more about what you have to say. I'm going to say each positive interjection 2 times. The first time, I want you to listen, and the second time, I want you to say it out loud. Imagine that you're at that party, talking with someone else who you want to become friends with, who you're interested in, and you want to show them I'm interested in you. How can you compliment them with your ears, listening to them with these interjections? Let's give it a try. Wow, that's so cool. Say it with me. Wow, that's so cool. That's great. That's great. I love that. I love that. No way, that's awesome. No way, that's awesome. Oh my gosh, how fun is that? Oh my gosh, how fun is that? Oh, really? Oh, really? For real? That's too funny. For real? That's too funny. Can you get the sense from all of these positive interjections that you're making that other person feel like I'm saying something that that person really cares about? When they say, for real? That's too funny. It shows you are listening. It shows that you think they're funny and they're going to feel so good about themselves. You are complimenting what they're saying. My second tip for having amazing conversations is to have a mindset shift. I want you to shift your mindset into thinking that every person you speak with has something interesting to say, and you can't wait to find out what that is. Be interested in other people. If you only speak about yourself, you're not a great conversationalist. If someone says that their car broke down and you immediately say, yeah, my car broke down last week too, how do you think that makes that other person feel? Makes them feel like, did you even hear what I said? Do you care about me that my car broke down? So, take a step back and be interested in their story. Be interested in their life. Have you ever been telling someone something that you are really excited about? Maybe you said, I just interviewed for a new job last week at Google. And then the other person says, yeah, I thought about interviewing for there too. Well, how does that make you feel? Kind of feels like they're not willing to share your excitement because they only want to talk about themselves. Yeah, I interviewed there too. Well, you don't want to be that kind of person. You want to take interest in what other people have to say and think, wow, other people have something that I am curious about, and I can't wait to learn more. I'd like to give you some phrases that you can use to show that you're genuinely interested in what other people have to say. Like before, I'm going to say them 2 times. First time, you can listen. And the second time, say it with me. Speak out loud. How did that happen? How did that happen? What was that like? What was that like? What do you think will happen? What do you think will happen? What made you want to do that? What made you want to do that? Have you always been interested in that? Have you always been interested in that? Great. These phrases show that you are genuinely interested in what the other person has to say. Great. You are on your way to having amazing conversations. Tip number 3 for having amazing conversations is to listen actively. Listen actively, but listening is usually a passive thing. You're just taking in input. But really, active listening means that you are either guessing the emotion of the other person or you're mirroring their words. This is actually excellent for learning English because you're taking their words and you are kind of restating it. So you might be growing some new vocabulary, growing some new grammar based on what the other person said. Let me give you a couple examples. If you work in customer service and someone calls your customer service line and says, "This product broke, I can't believe it," you might say, "I'm sorry, you must be really frustrated." But they say, "No, I'm just disappointed because I thought that it would work." Well, what word did they use that you didn't use? You said, "You must be frustrated," and they said, "No, I'm just disappointed." Great chance for active listening. You can say, "I'm sorry that you're so disappointed. Let me do what I can to make it right." You're mirroring their word and it makes them feel heard. You're actively listening to the words that they're using, and you're able to use it yourself to reflect their feelings. This is a great type of listening and phrasing to use when someone's telling you something that there's a lot of emotion behind. It could be positive emotion. It could be something they're worried or fearful about. This type of negative emotion. Here are some sample phrases that you can use so that you show that you are listening actively to someone else, and that other person feels good that you really heard what they had to say. You can say "you must be feeling" and then add some kind of emotion. You must be feeling really excited about that job interview. You must be feeling really nervous to approach your boss. You must be feeling really upset that that happened. Oh, well, maybe they didn't say specifically excited, worried, upset, but you are guessing their emotion. Maybe they'll correct you and say, "Ah, actually, I just feel hesitant. I feel really disappointed." Okay, that's all right. You can mirror that back. "Yeah, that's so disappointing." But when you are trying to actively listen and pull out their emotion, excellent. You are a wonderful conversationalist. Let me give you some other phrases. That must be really nerve-wracking. That must be really exciting. That must be really awful. That must be... Can you practice that with me? That must be really nerve-wracking. That must be really exciting. That must be really awful. And our final phrase for active listening is, "That sounds really nerve-wracking. That sounds really exciting. That sounds really awful." So here, you are trying to pull that emotion out of it and connect with the other person. Can you say that with me? That sounds really nerve-wracking. That sounds really exciting. That sounds really awful. Excellent work. And a little bonus tip. This works very well with children. If you have young kids, or I guess any kids, if you work with kids, you see kids, you know that kids exist. I recommend this book, How to Talk, so kids will listen. How to listen so kids will talk. They also have a teenage version as well, I think. And it's a great way to be able to use active listening at an age-appropriate level so that your kids feel heard, and also so that your kids hear you and hear you in the way that you want them to hear. Great book. Great recommendation. Okay. Let's go to our fourth and final tip for amazing English conversations. Tip number 4 for amazing conversations is body language. You can have all the right words, all the right things to say. But if your body is like this, well, you know what that tells the other person? I don't really care what you have to say. Just kind of bored. So instead, as you are having a conversation with someone else, I want you to remember nose. Huh? Your nose? No. Instead, this is an acronym. N-O-S-E. We'll talk about it in just a second. Remember nose as you are speaking with someone else. N is nodding. Nodding. If you're speaking and someone just stands there and doesn't move, it seems a little robotic. A little bit like they're not listening or they don't care. Makes you feel a little uncomfortable. So if you just nod while someone else is speaking, oh, it shows that you're listening. It doesn't mean you always agree with them, but it shows that you're listening. You're nodding. What about O? O is for open posture. Which one feels better to you? Me with my arms crossed, maybe turned away from you? Or me with my arms down and just listening to you? When your body is open, you don't need to be very open or like this. Instead, just having an open posture, your shoulder is back and you're facing someone. This shows that you care and that you're listening. The S of nose is smile. Did you know that our brains can tell if a smile is real or not when you smile like this? Yes, my mouth is making a smiling face, but it's not real. And could you tell that I wasn't really smiling? I was just fake smiling? Well, the reason why we can tell is because my eyes are not doing anything. A real smile goes all the way up to your eyes. If I smile like this, do you see how my eyes are crinkling a little bit? Maybe even completely crinkling? That means that it is a real smile, that we are really interested. So as someone is speaking, you can be completely really interested in what they have to say, not just feels like a robot, right? But when you're really interested in what someone has to say, yeah, your eyes crinkle a little bit and you smile all the way up to your eyes. The final E of nose is eye contact. In English, in the U.S., it is common and important to maintain eye contact with someone when you're speaking. You don't need to stare at them the whole time and never look away. But if you avoid eye contact as someone's speaking, it makes them feel like you don't want to be there. You don't want to talk with them. So instead, if you look them in the eyes and you smile and you nod and you have open posture, you are a welcoming and inviting person who anyone would want to speak with. So maintain some eye contact. Maybe if that's tough for you, can focus here or focus on one eye over the other. You don't need to stress yourself out too much. But having that kind of nodding, this genuine smile, open posture, and maintaining eye contact, that is a great way to have excellent conversations. Well, now, when you compliment others, have a mindset shift that other people have interesting things to say, and you listen actively and have great body language. Well, congratulations. You have the power to have amazing conversations, great relationships, and confidence in yourself. Pretty good for a free YouTube video, hey? Congratulations on growing your English skills so that you can speak confidently. Yes, you can do it. you can be a confident English speaker. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for a free English lesson every Friday. Bye.